here, man. No! Oh, no!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Rustoria's Base Invaders, here for our North America 3v3 event brought to you by RustyPot.com. Hope you all are doing well. My name is Llama77. Joined with me in the cast booth here today, and is the one and only Grifftastic. Griff, how are we doing today?
I'm good. And how are you doing today, Llama7?
I'm fantastic. Could not be better. Been a minute since I've been here at Rustoria, but excited to get on a broadcast. Of course, to break down the format a little bit for those of you that might be new or those of you that are veterans on tuning in, we'll still break it down. Obviously, we've had our build phase. We've had 45 minutes for these teams to sort of build up these bases, and now we get into the attack phase, 30 minutes of that, and then we'll have that big raid phase at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are sitting on top of the hard point at the moment. We're going to see the top 10, obviously, in our top right corner with the first three teams breaking out. Four teams now, Najo, The Best, PVM, and Privatka, sorry. And, of course, holding the hard point will earn you points. I believe it's 1 point every 60 seconds that you hold the point. Uncontested, timer pauses when another team enters the hard point. The longer you hold it, the more points you get. And those early points can really give you a lead going into a raid phase, giving you, a nice little head start on the competition.
Very true. You know, those early points, they don't force you to make bad decisions later on where maybe you're down 100 points, maybe you're already in towards that lead. But talking about that hard point, we actually have a couple of teams that have built bases on the high ground around this hard point. So although, yes, you do earn some points and it is nice to go contest that hard point, it is going to be a little bit tough to, I feel like, hold it down with Right Twix here, with Flossie, and with Team Finn. But as you mentioned, this is going to be a very important period, not only for this hard point, but just getting early points in general, getting some of those attacks out and making sure you're pressuring some of these other teams.
Definitely, and obviously having three teams orbiting the hard point, all of them with sights on the hard point, it does mean that any team that is going to be going inside of the point is going to be taking covering fire from all three sides, obviously making that triangle of death, sort of like the oh, I'm blanking. Wow, great start for me today. Bermuda Triangle, thank you. Obviously, taking covering fire from all three sides and holding that hard point is going to be a big challenge for any team moving in. However, we are going to see a lot of teams up towards the top right of the map, orbiting around Military Tunnel, Satellite Dish, and Oxum's gas station. Obviously, a lot of teams close together means a lot of back-to-back combat. It could mean a lot of raid counters, raid steals, and TC steals, and that is something that we are always loving to see.
Yeah, 21 teams signed up and ready to go today. But like you mentioned, a packed northern set of teams. A lot of teams going to be up there, hopefully fighting their way away. We've got our first visitor towards this heart point, and it is going to be Parpla from the Right Twix squad. So possibly earning themselves some early points. I am interested to see more how that northern side does go, because like you mentioned, we saw earlier in EU that when there's a lot of teams, it gets a little bit chaotic, and especially with only 3 players to defend a base, your base can get overwhelmed very quickly if a couple teams try and target you.
Absolutely, and obviously being so packed close together means we're going to see a lot of that FFA, multiple teams scrambling throughout multiple different walls. But as we move on to the hard point here, we are going to see the first member of Right Twix, Crixx with Ock, I think this is, but another member, FIN Apsi, moving in now to contest the hard point. This is going to be a 1v1 to obviously see who takes the hard point first. However, Right Twix is going to be covering under a box here, moving up his Apsi, taking a sneaky approach. Gun is lowered. Right Twix is going to take the opportunity and beam him into the ground, taking the hard point first.
Lovely stuff there. Nice little 1v1 duel, showing us not only do they have a pretty good base design playing as that left Twix squad a little bit earlier, but also can take those 1v1 PvP duels. I think that had a little bit of health advantage going in, but just was playing a smart left-hand corner peek. It looks like, though, FIN is not done. They're going to send some more members this way, possibly. So want to try and contest this hard point. You built your base around it for a reason, and if you can do some damage, if you can take some of these hard point points, and maybe when you get to that raid phase, if you can take down these 2 other bases, you're kind of isolated and can walk your way up to the northern safely.
Absolutely. Right Twix, Parpla, and FN Tequila doesn't see
Oh.
him. Parpla's going to take the easy surprise kill and continue to hold hardpoint. It does look like Right Twix is going to take the early control here of the hardpoint, obviously picking up 2 PvP kills as well as holding it down. This is 3v3s, which means not very large teams, which means each attack needs to be calculated and precise as you don't have an overwhelming force to contend. However, it does look like one base off in the middle south, Sucklers.
Oh.
Just just
Mm.
having fun. Twig on the roof. And an incomplete compound with one mini copter. This only 2 members in the base. This and an exterior compound.
Okay.
Okay.
Bit of an interesting base, I'll have to say,
Um
but
I fear for them. I fear
yeah.
as though this composition will not play nicely for them, as I think their base is open. I think those exterior pods on top are open to the inside. Oh, with one scrap heli off in the distance there. Wow, this is... And they're... Oh no. Oh.
It's open.
Oh. Oh no.
Yeah. I mean, they are semi-isolated away from other people, which it's a good and bad thing. Like, at one point, like, we see teams that are isolated down here just, like, either not earn points or just get, like, focused from another team. But it does take a while for other teams to get to you, but also for you to get to other teams. So, wins and losses there. We'll see how it goes for them. It looks like in this kind of northern set, a lot of extra cover. I know I was talking with our producer. I haven't been on a broadcast in about a year, but all these different terrains, all these extra rocks and things are really nice and make the fights interesting.
Yeah, it's nice to be moved off Baron, but as you're moving closer, Team Crippy. Now, one of the things that I've noticed with the bases so far is usually when we see something in a 4v4 and a 5v5, we see bases tend to be smaller in size. I've seen some rather large bases so far as well as some kind of rivals those of 7v7s and 6v6s and whatnot, which is hard to manage, especially in the 3v3 with so much base to cover and just not enough players. But our first patrol heli is going to go on in the background as we're looking at this base. It is a large, like it is a serious base.
Yeah, it's serious, but I think it's like you mentioned, you're going to be dealing with some of those issues where it is big, it's nice, it's good for defense, but at the same time, if you start to lose control of it and you don't actually know, I know you know how you built your base, but if you get lost inside of the maze, inside of your own one, it can give over a lot of control over towards the other squad. Like you were mentioning, though, that first helicopter has been dropped. Amy is going to be the squad here, and they have a little bit of a raid base as well. So waiting for those fires to go out, and then they'll be able to pick up those crates.
Yeah, obviously, I believe there are 5 heli crates there, netting you 3 points per crate. Now, remember, you don't have to loot the entire crate. All you have to do is tap it, and you net the points, which can be a clutch strategy, especially when you're being countered and or pressured by other teams. We've seen this happen lots before in base invaders, where a team will send one guy in solo, usually naked, to just tap all the crates and get them the points so that they can carefully evac and get back to their base with what little loot they have left. Now, it doesn't look like they're going to be taking a lot of counter, a lot of heat from any other team. I'm not seeing anybody in the distance. It does look like they're just going to be holding down their little platform here with the walls and the beds.
Yeah, no extra pressure from other teams. I will say these are points that Amy needs right now. I mean, they are not on the top 10 on the leaderboard. They don't even have a single point scored. So I think that getting this helicopter is a smart decision, but we're seeing Right Twix. I think that decision to build by that hard point already start to pay off. Yes, they're at 20 points, which is recoverable, excuse me, by a TC take during the raid phase. But at the same time, I mean, they're 20 points up. They're going to keep going, and they have really good control over this hard point.
Absolutely, but remember, all it takes is one person to step inside the hard point for you to lose that control, and then the timer ends up pausing. But FIN Apsy is going to be spraying in from the outside. I believe he's got a pick and is going to be moving in now. Oh, yeah, there's... Oh, he got 2. Oh, he's going to be taking fire from his far right, though, as he crouches behind the building, able to possibly take some ammo and meds off of the 2 bodies that he's taken. I'm not seeing where he's being shot at from.
I thought
Oh,
it
he's
was
got backup
from
now.
the high ground. But
one member of Right Twix, Rakabella, is going to go down to FIN Hayden, and Right Twix is going to lose control of that hardpoint just like that.
Right, Twix loses control. I think they were shooting some pop shots from their high ground base, but not 100% sure where those did fall. Again, great job from FIN to get the double. I feel like not only getting that single, but making sure they fully clear it out. It does look like Flossie has now joined the party. So all three teams getting involved, trying to take over this hard point. And like you mentioned, if there is one other player of that opposing squad, you're not going to be earning any of those points. So we'll see if Flossie can maybe push their way. It looks like their teammates are getting active as well.
Wow.
And finally getting to the base, the long-range shots connecting.
Yeah, FIN is very clearly showing their technical skill so far in the Base Invaders competition. We saw that huge long-range beam towards Fesk for RN, as well as a quick side peek towards the other member of Flossie that moved in, and he got beamed into the ground. Really, they have taken this hard point. They have staked their claim.
That they have. Still a couple points behind Right Twix, so we'll have to hold it for a little bit longer, maybe get a couple more of those kills if they want to catch up. Flossie, again, another team that is not on the leaderboard at the current moment. I think they're wanting to get involved again. You don't build your base right by the hard point and then just say, okay, we're not going to go over towards the hard point. So we'll see if they can use this cover. They have some of that tree line, but it seems like Tequila, like you said, just absolutely showing their skill off, and the shots towards that high ground as well. If you pester that team up top, you're poking the bear.
Yeah. Obviously, getting sprayed down. It looks like Fesk4RN is either trying to maybe dwindle down their health or their supplies or something. Maybe waiting for backup to come, but he's going to take some shots and unfortunately have to get back under cover in order to heal back up. We are going to see a Right Twix member, though, rotating inside the hard point. Crixus with the Hawk with AK. Tequila also looking and waiting for him. It looks like he's seen him, and it's a firefight. One going down to 50, one going down to 87. He's going to take some shots from the back, though, as Chris with AK gets on, and it does look like he's going to be able to get away, but just barely.
Up towards that 80 HP. We'll see if he can hide in the corner here. That crossfire was really nice from Right Twix to dwindle down that HP, and now they've both got healed up as well. Tequila is being pestered from the backside as well, so has the teammate of Apsy trying to help them out against the Flossie team, but Right Twix getting the push on in. They've got two members up here, but also are taking fire from that top hill.
Yeah, it does look like he unfortunately went down, leaving FIN in the hard point. However, we are going to see AK shots and hear them as well going off. FIN Absy obviously covering fire from the top of the hill, looking for anybody that could be imposing on their hard point. As we see, it looks like Right Twix and possibly Flossie are now fighting. Maybe instead of just forgetting the hard point and moving on.
Not 100% sure. Got a sneaky little straggler going up towards that high ground. I will say that of all these bases, yes, they did build around the hard point. I think Right Twix is in a great position. You just see that mountain line. It makes it so tough for any team to just push straight up towards them. They have to kind of actually loop all the way around if they want to try and aggress on towards that base. So we'll see if that does pay off when it does come time for the raid phase. FIN pushing their way up on the leaderboard. Nanjo was able to take over first place, possibly fighting in that northern sector, but FIN up to 24 points. Flossie's going to retake the zone, though, once again.
We are going to see the second patrol heli go down in the background as Flossie moves into the hard point. Does look like it went down up in the northern region inside just outside of PVM's compound. That could attract some unwanted attention from Pravatka and Flincher. We did see some members already on the ground of Flincher, yes, fighting PVM, trying to get that heli. Can't see it now, just outside the compound. I saw the rockets that was flaming outside of the base. The two members of Flincher are now going to be moving in, but this is going to be a hard fight to take as PVM have a direct sight line onto the helicopter, especially from the high ground with all their different peaks.
They're gonna have to possibly put up some of those temporary walls for protection. Of course, like we mentioned, those fires will take some time to go out, so you have time to work your way up, but it also gives time for your opponents to just set up on that high ground. I don't actually know if PVM is looking down or knows that there are some players trying to take that helicopter from them, and this again is a lot of points. AMY, you could see they jumped up on the leaderboard up to 4th place because of that first helicopter. Again, we're still in that threshold where you get to the rating phase, you take 1 TC, and you're able to retake first place. But that early lead you talk about is just so good and such a great feeling to start out with.
Definitely, and we are going to see bots, pops from Flincher looking down on Oil. Dominating is going to get the kill from the low ground, and this is why these overhead peaks are such a disadvantage. In order to peek over these and get a sightline, you have to put your entire body out there, whereas the other member had just showing his head, making his hitbox so much smaller. PVM hit as well, looking down from high ground, trying to get a shot. I think he's just firing some Pops. However, Pops is going to be getting hit from behind. He now is basically walled up, and he is looking for the other member behind him now. Can't see. Ooh. Najo Nobles moving in now. Does look like he wants those crate points, as Pops is going to be spraying back at him.
Lots of crates. Lots of points available. Lots of teams want him, though. That's the hardest part. Is Creepy also has a really good angle from the long range as well to try and snipe on towards this. So possibly for bots pops, maybe in an okay spot with those walls, but those fires are going to start to expire soon. You feel like those teams got to get a little bit more aggressive. We're about halfway through this attacking phase, and a couple teams getting up towards that 20-some point marker. Finn actually retaking the lead in towards that first place, possibly getting back towards that hard point. But at this time, it's not only about getting those early points, but starting to scout out the bases around you. See if there's a weak point, see if there's a weak target, and see if there's someone that maybe you can get first dibs on raiding.
Absolutely. We are going to see Bots Pops continue to take that fire. He is, I believe, the only member of Flincher left standing, as we saw, I believe, Najo Nobles now moving up on his far left from where he's standing, or right, depending on where he's facing, but he is too busy worried about PVM from the high ground. Nobles is going to be taking fire from his right, though. Oil dominating now, moving up, trying to get a shot on Nobles or Pops, really trying to play Overwatch here and see if they can get rid of their competition so they can send a mad down and get the crates.
Bots Pops taken down to 30 HP, has some heals to keep themselves healthy at least. However, like we said, those fires going to expire very soon, trying to build some more of those temporary walls and maybe take a 1v1 fight. Pops, I don't know if they know that there's another player here, but they have a teammate, so should be a 2v1, taken down both very low, and they will get the cleanup without losing a member. Love calling in that reinforcements. You talk about only having the 3 players, you use 2 of them wisely, and you've even got your 3rd here to get some more pressure on these crates.
Absolutely great play by Fincher all around as they are going to move into those crates. PVM dragging off in the distance, but we are going to see here some AK fire going off, and it does look like Flincher is now getting pressured. I think we lost one member in the flow of combat. They are going to be being sprayed off from distance. I don't see the name tag, but he's far off. We are going to hear heavy gunfire now as one member goes down. I believe that was Pops moving in. It was. He was able to clean up and get the feet off of his team. PVM dragging up there. The last member of PVM inside those walls. I think Fincher needs to send a man to get the crates now, and I think Hollow is going full sprint, full steam ahead. He's going to go down. He's down but not out. He is able to be rezzed. I think he was unfortunately finished. It's just down to Fincher Russian characters now. Covering fire as he sees both members are down. He needs to take this opportunity and grab those crates.
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go now. I mean, you mentioned you only have to touch them. There's just gonna be Fincher is gonna go grab every single one of them, and that's gonna put them up in towards 2nd place. Beautiful plays, like you mentioned, to take down those 2 players first, then push towards the crates. Just do it step by step by step, not overextending. And PVM's gonna be kind of sad. I mean, that helicopter dropped literally right outside of their base, but I think that mountain line, although once again we talked about it in the previous base, it's nice for defense. It's very hard to actually get down and try to fight those teams on.
Sorry, did I just see Hit try and challenge that with a pump shotgun? Did he run out there naked? Wow, long range beam all the way from over there. Creepy, just firing on them, and he's able to control that recoil well. He was able to kill, I believe, both members outside of PBM's base, is dominating now, firing down from his peaks. Does look like he's looking for any leftover members of Fincher. And unfortunately, our observer game has crashed. So we are going to have to go to a BRB as we fix the game.
And we're back. Sorry about that short break. Rust doing Rust things. We're still here for Rustoria's Base Invaders North America event 3v3 brought to you by Rusty Pot. And Llama and Griff still up here in the booth. Griff, we had about 8 minutes there of the break and nothing really changed actually on the leaderboard. Finn is still in first place.
Yeah, we did see Fincher obviously take a huge jump. They are now into second with 44. I believe when we left them off, they just broke 30 with the helicopter crates, which means they had to hard push, get a lot of PvP points or another heli in order to get where they are now. But we are going to see Right Twix now taking the hard point. I think Finn has abandoned the hard point. I think they've said we have enough points going into our attack phase. Let's gear up. But then again, I could be wrong as I see two members now bum rushing in. Because Caster's Curse, whatever you say, just never happens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we'll see if the curse does happen for Finn. They don't want to give up on it. They want to go and digress on towards this one. I also think it's important. At this point, you got 60 seconds until the raid phase. You can start to get one of those early raids, and I think this trio of squads is going to be very important, because if somebody starts attacking somebody else, and somebody else could counter them, or if somebody else could join on, and it could take somebody out very quickly. But we'll have to see. It looks like Finn and Right Twix both getting some positioning here on towards the hard point. Tequila is actually taken down to 50-some HP, so we'll see how they try and walk this one in.
Right Twix Purple has been seen. He's going to go down, but not out. We're going to see him 9 health, obviously, on the floor now. He is just going to be standing there and waiting for his death as the Tequila runs in there, finishing him off. And it does look like while we were watching that, FIN was able to clear out the rest of Right Twix, and they are going to be able to pick up those 3 PvP points and take over the hard point. However, there is really no point in holding it, as there isn't a full minute to claim another point. So they probably will just be headed back to base to pick up raid supplies and get ready for their first raid. We're going to zoom in here on Amy, Team Amy. I'm English and Wrathwalker moving up and flying most likely back to base or towards another base to start raiding.
We'll see where they go. It looks like hardpoint's no longer active, and we are into the raid phase. The fun phase, the most fun phase, I gotta say, of the entire event. Well, again, a lot of teams packed up towards this northern side. We got that trio around where that hardpoint was, and then we have the one lone squad towards the bottom. I'm excited to see, again, with 3v3s, where these teams kind of decide to go, what decisions they make, because honestly, there's so many teams in the area, and it already looks like we're starting to raid up.
Obviously, we are going to see our first raid, and I have questions. What happened? What? Why is there an external compound that only covers a third of the base? They're wooden walls. They decided to make a backyard. Wow. Okay, Privatka, I guess this is their base. This is not where they want to be at the moment. PVM's going to be firing. It's all stone. They are going to tear through this base like nothing. PVM and I believe Fincher are fighting over this as Privatka. We can see Little Pick moving in from the back as he is going to be looking for Pops. What is he using? Because that's not an AK. I think he's... Oh, but Fincher Pops is going to go down, but the other member is... I think that was Little Pick, is also going to die. But... Oh, he's using a pump. And wood armor. I have so many questions. What happened to Privatka, sorry, and Sucklers. Oh, I think those were the boys in the bottom. Fincher getting a little toxic. And these obviously our team on the far south is going to go down, unfortunately. To Flossy, which is going to put them to second place, 58 points. But now they are going to be the raid here is going to continue from PVM and Fincher, sorry. PVM Dragon. Is that a bow? What?
No.
What happened? This is...
I mean, at some point, you do also have to imagine that, like, when you build your base around so many other teams, especially up here, like, at the edge of the map, it's actually really hard to get access to resources, especially once you get in towards that second phase, once people are starting to, you know, actually shoot towards your way. So maybe struggling to get that. I mean, you talked about only wood on that exterior compound. These walls are just, even though they're stone, they're going to be paper against the rockets that are flying on in. So we'll see if the repairs can come in. We'll see if they can build right on back up. But as soon as you peek out that door, immediately fried on down.
I mean, they're not even in full metal, and I think Provodka G3 is the only man with an AK. I mean, we saw Little Pip go out there, and he was in full stop sign armor, but Dragon's gonna get the pick on him anyways. It looks like, I think you're right, I think they either joined up too late, or they just weren't able to get any resources, because it doesn't look like they have any loot. It doesn't look like they have any material.
Now you got multiple teams aggressing towards your way, so I feel like it's going to be tough. We have this PVM squad who was the MVP squad from the EU event a little bit earlier. You got two teams pushing on opposite sides. You'll try to play the low ground here, but I don't know, already access in here with rockets. I think it's now just a race where PVM versus Fincher, who can break into this one faster?
Definitely, and we are see PVM Dragon now down to 70 health, but he is going to be backed by his member of Hit as they go into this base. But Fincher is going to be raiding from the other side. We are just seeing two massive holes plugged into this base, and it looks like we were already through to the other side. So I think we just saw a rocket go through the base and out the other side. And really, this is not a good start, and it's almost unrecoverable from Provodka.
And the tough part as well is you're talking about you're only playing trios, where maybe if you're playing a 5 or 6 man squad, maybe you have some more resources or have some more players to try and defend it, but it just seems like it is going to be a tough ask here. PVM is already up in towards what seems like more of this core area, and now it's just luck here to see if they can break the door that has the TC.
Absolutely, and oh,
Wow.
PIV. Hit is PVM, sorry, is going to get that kill there, and it doesn't even look like he took damage. And he's Little Pig gonna go down again. It looks like they've simply just been outgunned, and more boom and just paper thin walls as PVM continues to move in. Like, this really isn't where you want to be at this point, guys.
Unfortunately, they have to deal with it, though. I mean, I guess the thing is, maybe there's always next event. There's always that bright side. However, I think for them right now, you have to focus down one of these teams. You have to try and at least take down one of these sides and get some repairs going. At most, what you can do is you can send the teams to try and fight into each other, because if they're attacking from different sides, like, it's an even worse scenario. If they can start shooting each other, if they can start fighting in the middle of the space, maybe you can retake it back, but I think it's already too long gone.
Yeah, no, I think this base has been successfully taken. But the other thing is, I think Provodka is missing a member. I've only seen 2 members of the team so far. I've seen G3 and I've seen Lil Pick. As we are going to see, just like it's just this base is gone as Fincher moves in. I think they've drove out PVM, and I think Fincher has successfully taken this base.
It's all down to that chess match of, can you recognize the builds? Can you recognize where that TC is going to go? Lots of holes already through, but all of even the interior is stone as well. Only that front right side was a little bit of metal. So continuing to blow on through with that boom down towards these lower levels. They have some ladders all the way through. Now there is some high ground to low ground, little bit of angles at least, but it just seems so tough.
Yeah, this just really, it was the exact opposite of where this team wanted to be at the start of the game, and really they just need some help. As we are watching this raid, UKN HVH was eliminated by Mujiki, and like, seriously, how is this base taking this long? I feel like this should have been over by now. But Fincher, PVM now back with a vengeance here to take this base. You're going to see Dragon and his friend from the back moving in. Rocket Little Pig G3 is going to try and get some loot, but get beamed down by the 2 members of PVM moving in. Fincher Russian characters looking. He is going to be able to get a spray onto PVM Dragon as PVM Dragon moves in. You're going to see Fincher Hollow as well on the interior of the base. Hit, it looks like, is moving around with 50 health. And TC has been found by PVM. Or is that Fincher? I think that's Dragon. But TC being found, which means the points are going to go to PVM. I feel like that was a bit of a steal. But then again, they both raided from opposite sides of the base. They were both inside the base. They were both fighting. I don't think it was a steal. I think it was just a good contest for PVM. And they were just luckier, really. They just found the TC first.
I mean, I also think It's great gameplay from PVM there that, yes, it is somewhat of a chance, but they also recognize this is the one part of the inner core that is actually armored. This is the one part they're actually trying to defend. So, you know, maybe, just maybe the TC is there, but that is going to be nice bringing them up towards that second place marker. It seems like everybody still in this game, still in this tournament, as long as they can take a TC and keep it going. It looks like AMY, we talked about their early crate takes. They're behind about 1 TC, but this base is looking pretty tough and strong.
Definitely is. Obviously, this is something that we talked about earlier during the attack phase, where these spaces are a lot bigger than what I was expecting going into the 3v3 raid period, where as in past tournaments, where we had smaller teams like 5v5, 4v4s, we were seeing bases that were smaller than these, or at least somewhere around the same size. I was expecting like a lot smaller bases than what we usually see, but these are like standard to our 6v6 7v7s, and this is just a much larger base than what you're expecting. But raid platforms are going to go down as they are going to be moving into the base. Amy is going to be opening up a cavity inside of the wall of Chuka. Rockets flying in. We are going to see the members quickly react. We can see another team, however, creepy in the background, knock, 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 and just better. Moving in from the other side of the base, possibly going to go through the wall compound and go in straight through that. But it does look like the gate has been left open.
That is not what you want to see. You do not want to give a nice little opening towards your enemies. I will say, though, this kind of raid is going the way of the defenders because it started out with those two attacking teams, once again, fighting each other. And that's what you want as the team defending your base, is to force them to fight each other rather than to fight you. It looks like both teams have kind of wisened up, kind of gotten in towards that compound and are pushing different and opposite ways. And look at that. It's actually AMY just with a snipe.
Wow. And it does look like they raided the right side.
Wow.
And honestly, I think that's just coming down to luck. I did see a little bit of twig in the base, so it's possible they were either trying to repair or just forgot some upgrades, which could have led to that TC snipe. But oh well. Quick, easy raid for AMY, going to get them some easy points as they are going to put up some walls, put up some cover, and get ready. But the best with an open compound is not exactly looking the best. This round moves in as well as Nadjo, sorry. Really, this you know, the name isn't really accurate at the moment, as the best is currently losing this, and quite badly. Round in the top floor of the base as two members of the best are in the bottom trying to get some loot. As we can see, ladders are everywhere, possibly raided part of the base, rescue teammates and whatnot. Round now moving through the top layer trying to find that TC. It does look like they're going to be scrimming off with other members of the best. We are going to see another member of it, but it's two members. Round the best. Slowzak is going to get the kill, and it's Slowzak and Tiago that are going to take the top layer. That's a lot of bodies and a lot of loot and a lot of AKs that they can be taking. They're going to block it off with a wood door. I mean, whatever works. But
Yeah.
Nadjo Nobles moving in now. Does look like he's going to be utilizing, obviously, the sprinting crouch strategy, where you can move in with a lot of speed but also be silent. However, he is just going to run at times, so I guess he's just trying to evade bullets. But Nobles now moving in. There's another wood door on the front, and I think they've run out of materials. Because this is not where you want to be. I think metal as a whole has just been scarce so far throughout this tournament, where maybe they just didn't send enough people to go farming for bases these size.
Yeah, I mean, they have a POI relatively close towards them, but two teams now going to be aggressing this way. Round was the team that got in early. It looks like possibly had a close-by raid base, and they are already back inside. At the same time, there are a lot of undestroyed walls, undestroyed corridors. Round is going to need to slowly chip their way through. It's nice if your opponents don't have any materials left to try and mount this defense, but at the same time, again, this is a massive base here that, although they might have used all their metal to build up the foundation and this outside, it is still going to have a lot of work to be done.
Definitely, we are going to see Nadjo now moving in Nobles 100 HP, but he's going to see his teammate, two Nadjo's member now, going in through the other side. We are going to see two members of the best three members now, as all three members are now inside the base looking. People are going to be going up ladders to the top layer in order to scrim them off. However, we're going to see members of Round now respawning back at their home base, which is right next door, so they can go in and help out their teammates as the best continues to try and maintain their base.
Back into the door, going through this low ground. Again, lots of teams want to try and finish this one off the best. We'll see if their namesake holds true here. Lots of ladders, lots of focus up towards this second, third floor, and some doors still protecting a lot of this area. So even though a lot of rockets, a lot of boom has been invested towards this, eventually you don't want to put in all this work as a team from the outside and then let a team like Najo go in and steal it if you are around. You have to make sure you're fighting them off as well. You don't want to lose those 40 points and all the boom you invested.
Absolutely, and now the best is going to continue to try and hold the base. It does look like they're scrambling to get doors. We can see two members of Round now, as one member of the best is trying to hold it. He's going to just barely get through the door as Round Canada now moving in, as well as his teammate, which is some form of other language that I cannot read. Doing his best, moving through cover, as well as we can see that the best is trying to maintain the top of the base. And it does, we can see Slow Zach, Voxy, and now Tiago on the bottom, possibly hunting for those Najo members such as Noblesse. Voxy running around on the roof, no peaks on the roof, which is a bit of an issue, but Round Canada is going to be able to beam him off. With no cover on the roof, it does mean that holding it, taking the roof is going to be very easy for Round, as we see them now running around on that roof and now maintaining the outside of the base.
I'm surprised that they want to go back up through the top with all the work they had put in through the sides, but either way, we'll switch on over towards another raid that is going on. I would also like to mention really quick, just looking at the leaderboard, that Round really did need that raid. They're only at 27 points, but this one might be a fast raid in progress, and it is relatively wide open, some doors here at the top level.
Yeah, we are going to see PVM obviously just sweep this base. I believe this is Creepy's base, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. More rockets now going to be firing through the doors. We're going to see double doors being opened up as teams do their best, but it does look like Zazie here with the heavy button going to go down. I don't think he was expecting anyone to be on the roof, and he just went in for just a quick one, see if he can scoop out that TC, and to just be instantly denied. As PVM oil dominating continues to hold the roof from anyone else.
Bad reaction time. Nice job there to win that 1v1. And now I will say Oil Dominating has a really good access point throughout this roof. PVM did not have a lot of early points throughout that attack phase. You remember they took that base a little bit earlier, stole it in quotation, had a good guess. So we'll have to see. Crippy is getting a good defense. They're on a kill streak of 5 with one of their players. However, a lot of rockets following through the top side. And if you give access towards the roof and continue to give access towards these other teams, Amy is here as well.
Counter raid from Amy, obviously. On the far side, they're only using one. Rocket, or not rocket, only one wall to cover. And in any other Rust circumstance, it would be a bit of an issue for Rocket PvP. It's just better is going to be able to pick up PVM. However, as we know, Rocket PvP does not exist in base invaders. Rocket damage is severely turned down so that we can't just be throwing HVs at each other. Now, Creepy Knock is still going to be maintaining the base, and I think they've gotten all of PVM outside of the compound.
I think so. Yeah, they were on that 5 kill streak. They forced them out and then cleared from top to bottom, which is usually kind of the opposite we see. We usually see the beds up towards the top and you clear from that top to the bottom, but bottom towards the top is the way they cleared. AMY is still going to be in the area pestering through those holes, but I mean, at this point, like you said, they only have that one wall. They have a little bit of cover with a natural little tree line and rock line there, but Crippy is still doing a good job at setting repairs and making sure their base is healthy.
Definitely, we can see get better now. It does look like he's going to be the one running around and trying to repair, or possibly leaving the compound to get a circle around Amy and see if they can get those kills and get rid of any spawns that they've possibly set up and get rid of the heat on their back. We are going to see Amy F3 shed, however, moving up. Now he's obviously boxed himself in with walls. As we can hear the firefight going outside, we see Creepy get better now, rotating outside of his base, looking for a spot on anyone, but he's going to go down to 11th health by, I believe, Amy I'm English, who just barely survived. We are going to see Wrathwalker, however, move up to his dead body, so it is possible that he was able to get one kill there. However, Knock Knock now still holding his base from the high ground. Obviously, no embrasures on that top side of the base, so it is just pure windows, which would make you sort of want to maybe rotate down to the second floor. However, he's going to continue holding. He's going to fire off some shots, but eventually take more damage than the other and forced to back off.
AMY currently in the lead at 90 points, but we're going to hop on over towards a different squad. It actually is PVM, so a squad up in that number 4 position is being fully aggressed on by Fincher. A colorful base here that is slowly being chipped away. I mean, PVM oil dominating, trying to get back for the defense. That is honestly why I think they had to stop that raid on the others, is they were getting raided themselves. So jump up here, we're gonna win the 1v1 nice and easy. Good trade. Now possibly 2 more in the base, but Hollow from behind the 1-for-1 trade.
You're going to be seeing a lot of, I believe those are jailhouse doors or prison doors, prison walls, whatever. But basically you can shoot through those, I believe. And they're usually good for protecting turrets, but I'm wondering if maybe the turrets just didn't get placed in time, because we didn't see anything behind those. However, PVM Hit is going to be running through his base, opening up garage doors and looking for anybody else. He's going to be looking for Hollow, who's currently holding the top, but I think he's noticed that there's someone below him. But this could end poorly for Hollow, and it does. Hit is able to get the pick off of Hollow, and his body is going to fall lifelessly to the second floor of the base. We are going to see the rest of Fincher, however. It does look like they are not done with this raid. They're not ready to give it up yet, as we can see more members in the background now moving in.
More moving in. Lots of teams trying to think about where they want to aggress to next. We've gone down about 20 minutes in total. Looks like actually is some ladders up towards the shooting floor, trying to just maybe aggress on. Okay. I guess we forgot about gravity.
Obviously, placing twig platforms is just in base rust isn't utilized very often. We can see oil dominating, however, spraying down the pops as Fincher Russian characters tries to get back to the top of the building, but he just can't. Oil dominating, he's gonna get a jump on the pops, and almost take him down from fall damage. Smart move by Oil dominating.
Everybody's forgetting about gravity. Every single player, but either way, they take the high ground. They take it.
They take the high ground. They are now in control of PVM's roof. We are only going to see one member of PVM oil dominating, possibly maybe a sent off his teammates to do something else, possibly getting a raid on those bed platforms. As he is going to be moving up to the roof while no one is watching, he's going to be able to get the kill on Fincher Russian characters. It's down to Pops, who's in the bottom. I think PVM was able to get to their raid platform, destroying all of their beds and boxes. We are going to see Hollow, though, move in, maybe trying to get a kid to get the kill on Hit, possibly restore his raid platform, but Hit's already gone, and I think they've almost lost this raid now.
Pretty much all the way cleared out. It is going to be bots pops. Maybe one more chance to take a 1v1, get that platform set right back up, but I don't think they're going to be able to get back towards it. That was really nice, I think, not only to, once again, get the clear out of their own base, but also to clear out the raid platform that you were mentioning. So should get some defense points here once they clear out bots pops as well, which should be nice. Again, these are two teams that are contesting up on the leaderboard. Bots pop, though, does get a good trade.
Absolutely, and now Fincher moving up its bots pops, as we were saying before. Last member of Fincher inside the base. It is all down to him. We aren't seeing any PVM members that are super close to him, so he is good for now. However, Oil dominating and HIT are still in the base. We can see Dragon out in the distance, possibly looking for anybody who is going to assist him. Spot Pops is going to move to the roof. We are going to see a member, I believe, of PVM going up. Bot Pops is going to go down. It's Oil dominating, and he is staying true to his name. He has been dominating the competition so far. He has been getting frag after frag after frag, as the best was eliminated by Round, which is going to put Round into second place with 80 points.
There's one of the raids we were seeing kind of earlier with that A little bit of roof control going on. Round able to take that one down, like you mentioned, moving themselves up into second place. Nanjo was kind of in the area at points, but I never feel like had full control over the base. So great job from Round there. We'll see where they decide to go next, because again, we still have about an hour and some change to try and get those aggressives on. I'm kind of interested why we don't see any red circles around those 3 bases we were seeing around the hard point. It seems like all those teams just like handshaking to go up north, raid everybody else, and not raid each other.
Definitely PVM obviously now maintaining control, but Fincher is not ready to give up. They are staying persistent. We can see now 3 members moving up. I'm wondering if they have new boxes, new beds to place down. This will I thought they would have pulled off, maybe went and gone to another base prepared for a counter raid from PVM, but instead they have rushed back. And they're not stopping PVM Dragon, PVM Hit, and PVM Oil dominating all on their base. And they have to have seen them now, as we can hear the upgrade sounds going off in the background. Oil dominating. It does look like he's running around outside of the base. He only has 50 health, which could put him at a severe disadvantage here. First AK shots are going to go off. PVM Oil dominating. That's another pick. Bot Pop's going to be returning fire, though, as we can hear the shots ringing out from the top of the roof from PVM Dragon.
Nice trade.
Fincher Bot Pops now continuing to look for a pick. Walls are going to go down. They're going to give themselves excess cover. But it doesn't... I didn't see them or hear them place down any beds, but it's possible they were while we weren't watching. I think they've got their raid platform down now. Yes, I think I can see a couple of boxes maybe, but Fincher Hollow now rotating outside. Oh no, they haven't got anything down.
No. No beds. They're just trying to will it out, try and take these 3 players and do what they can. It seems like maybe trying to recover some of the resources. I know they invested a lot of boom, a lot of deaths as well towards PVM. And I will say for PVM, this is a little bit annoying that, yes, you're going to get defense points if you defend here again, but it's always better, it feels like, to be on the offense. Yes, you're in first place. Yes, you're getting some good kills and your base looks strong. But at the same time, if you could go get a counter raid, if you could take care of these 3 players, not allow them to get those beds up and go take a TC, you could be further ahead than anybody else.
Definitely, and I think you're right. I think it's just best right now for, especially since Fincher is not likely to win this next fight, as they are going to be now rushing in. We can see Hollow and Bot Pops now on either side. You can see that they're hesitating to run in. They are looking for peaks, and we are going to see Oil dominating down there in the far left corner. He is going to be looking. I think Hollow has seen him through the peaks, as he is going to send Bot Pops in to finally end Oil dominating's madness. However, he's going to respawn, grab another kit, and be able to defend his base. I don't think this is very winnable for Fincher, especially if they don't have any beds down. But, you know, as I say that HIT hit is going to go down, we can see Dragon Oil dominating, headed towards the front door now. PVM Dragon's going to go to the roof, as it does look like Fincher Bots Pops is going to ladder up. Oil dominating is going to get a kill, and if he just steps outside, he would see Bot Pops. Dragon's already seen him, though, but Bot Pops is going to be able to pick up the kill, going down to 50 health. It's just Bot Pops in the compound now. However, one member of PVM is going to go down to, I believe, another member of Fincher, possibly. I believe it was not Hollow. I think it was somebody else. However, Oil dominating now, realizing that Bot Pops is on that roof, is going to be rushing up. Only 50 health again, no meds, and it's going to cost him his life. Bot Pops is going to be able to get a sneaky kill onto him.
Sneaky kill, but still kind of in shambles here for Fincher. You had 2 naked players, I think, run up. Hit does trade there with the upward kill streak of Bots Pop. So I will say has been having a really good game already, a good day for themselves, lots of really good kills, and has some good pressure on the high ground. However, I just think this is futile. I don't know how much boom you really have in the inventory. I don't see a rocket launcher on you. I mean, I don't even know if you set up beds to try and take this raid. I think it'd just be better to go back and reset.
I do agree with you, but he doesn't have a launcher, possibly. Oh, he does have C4 on his leg, so he does have something to get rid of doors, but unless he's going to be able to just miraculously find that TC on his first couple doors, he's going to very quickly run out of boom. We can't see PVM Dragon. Bot Pops has noticed him. I think he sees his gun through his wall and through that little gap within that door. Obviously, with those, I believe that was a rust drop that you could get, and it gives you that little peek, little space that you can see through but not shoot through. And Bot Pops has noticed the gun peeking through. PvP Dragon, or PVM Dragon, sorry, has seen him, and I think is rethinking his decision, possibly going around for someone else. Oh, but he is going to take that opportunity. PVM Dragon's going to come out. But it does look like it was a coordinated double attack, as Hit and Dragon were both peaked at the same time, which ultimately ended Bot Pop's assault. Now, moving on, we do see Mujiki getting raided by Flossie. Flossie at one point was our #1 team. However, they have fallen back to number 8 with no raids. However, getting this TC would put them back into first place.
And they got top control. That's the most important thing. It looks like possibly already breaking into the core, but that could just be a stairwell. Not 100% sure where it's going. It looks like Mujiki trying to push their way back on up. Flossie not only has one player activating that boom, but also has a player watching over them with one of those rifles. It's exactly what you want to see. And not only that, you mentioned Flossie needs this raid. Yes, you have 60 minutes. You have some time, but you want to reinstate yourself as that #1 team. Big Poppy T has to be a little bit careful. 60 HP on that opposing player. Looks like they had a ladder, so don't take that fault damage. But lots of boom coming out to try and break through from high to low. We'll see if they can find that TC quickly.
Yeah, and obviously we can hear multiple C4. It does look like they're drilling, which isn't something that we usually see in Base Invaders. Maybe the occasional one wall or one floor, but they are just tossing in abundance and as much C4 as possible onto one place, possibly trying to get deeper into the core by just throwing it. I think it's either 6 or 7 C4 onto a hard surface. They are going to be going through all the walls instead of the doors throughout the top of the roof, which is not great for the boom situation unless the TC is on the top floor, which is something that they might know, but we might not. But no TC so far. This is really, really bad. This is a really good way to waste boom. Whereas going through the doors would maybe take 2, 3 at most. They are throwing 6 on each wall.
Yeah, it's kind of a waste to me when you already have access towards this core. I feel like unless you really, really think it's inside of this top floor, which I don't know. If I'm a builder, especially in this meta, I'm not placed on the top floor just with the ease of access with ladders and all the helicopters and other things. But we'll have to see if they are right. I mean, they're wasting boom like nothing else, nobody's business. So we'll see if they can burn it through and see if they can maybe find it.
Yeah, maybe they have some insider knowledge that we just don't. But Flossie Big Poppy T going to continue to drill. He's going to be going through the floor now with no TC behind it. I'm just confused. I feel like this is just such a waste of boom. I mean, they're throwing so much C4. Like this, it's a really good way to drain all of their resources. And the moment that they're out of boom, it's not like they can just send a farmer to go get more.
And they have holes as well, which is the weirdest part to me. Like, they already have holes throughout the different floors. I don't know if they think it's at the bottom of one of these triangle entrances towards the little web of doors, but I just have to agree with you. It's such a waste of boom. I feel like eventually you're just going to have to go back and reset. And you also have to not only think about this raid, but also the whole match in general. If you waste all of your boom now, if you don't find that boom reset from your opponents, this might be the only raid throughout the entirety day that you get. Flossie is going to be able to trade 1 for 1 and pick up their player.
Yeah. Ooh, another member of Chico is gonna go down. Wow. Great aim from Flossie there. I believe it is Fesk for RN. Flossie Big Poppy T as well now up. We are going to see 2 members of Majiki on the bottom floor. I think they've lost a member of Flossie, as I'm not seeing anybody else. However, I do see, again, I believe there's 2 members of Majiki now inside the base. They're going to continue the boom. As we can see, Alt and Mika9 now moving up. Now, there is a lot of garage doors as we see in the core. Maybe it's possibly through there. However, they are drilling, like I said before, straight down throughout the base. Maybe they're going to use ladders to get through the floors easier. Like, this is wasteful.
It is. and they already have holes other places. They already have places they've drilled down, so I just totally don't know about this. I would actually love to see, I really don't think it's going to be on the top floor with all those peaks. Flossie just has the aim to match, though, so they've been able to hold down this high ground. I would also love to see when we get a chance to go over towards that other raid, because we were talking about early that those 3 teams around the hard point, they had not fought each other. We start to see that red ring grow around them, and it is still there. So actually there is a raid going on right now, and it looks like Finn is going to be the target.
Yeah, Team Finn, they're gonna be raided by Right Twix. We can't see a member of Right Twix inside the base. Rockabella now hiding inside of the front door. We can see he hasn't been noticed. Apsy running around. He's waiting for the golden opportunity because he's full naked, no kit, but he is going to be able to pick up the kill, sorry. That was full metal against naked, and he was able to win the fight.
Crazy like that.
Well, I mean, good for him. I think they just like sort of finished their raid defense here, and now Right Twix is going to be waiting inside the base and seeing if FIN is daring to chase him inside.
I mean, this is such a good stairwell pathway that he's found. Tequila.
Oh, tequila.
27 HP in a dream. Man.
Wow. I mean, good attempt there, but FIN has taken their base back, and I believe all the Right Twix has been moved out. But I think they're just dealing with last couple stragglers. Like I said before, that team in the stealth was eliminated almost immediately. But we're back to Majiki. Team Flossie again, still on that roof, and like we said before, they were being super wasteful with their boom, and one of the biggest things, one of the key components of Rust is your resource management, making sure you're not using too much of anything in the wrong place. And we can see, I don't think they have any C4 left. I think they have the one launcher because no one else is whipping out or using any boom. We haven't heard any C4 go off. We're hearing one launcher shoot over and over and over again.
I think they might have run out.
Good kill from Majiki. And it does look like they've taken back the base, and I think it's because they used too much boom on the top layer. One last member, Flossie, Big Poppy T, is going to continue the raid. It does look like now all the members of Majiki are following him, and Alt is going to pick up the kill. I think it was really Flossie's just waste of boom that unfortunately cost them that base.
They're going to lose out. I mean, no other raids really going on right now. I think everybody just trying to reset. Ooh. As we say that, another red circle appears on our map. I feel like at this moment, you feel like a lot of teams are within striking distance, but for Flossie, you feel for them that they wasted not only so much boom to get through that top floor, but so much boom of their total overall boom, you have to feel like. So I don't even know what that's successful raid.
It's Najo. He's going to be moving in, but sprayed from the roof. It's 2 members of Najo. One's going to go down. He's going to be able to hop on the roof. Ooh. He's going to get the kill.
What a play.
What a good job by Scallon there. He's going to be making his way through. Now he's on the roof, and it does feel like he has a backpack possibly full of his raid supplies. The big flaw of this base that I'm noticing is all of the exterior walls are soft-sided. All of their soft side walls are pointed out, which obviously making them easier to break. Ozazzy, Ganderlaw's going to be up there, and Najo's going to go down. Attempt by him. He was able to make it on his way up there, but Vinci Bot Pops is now on the outside of the base and is in prime real estate, really, for raiding, as I don't think he's been quite noticed yet, but he's going to be able to go up some ladders and get in the base, meeting up with his teammate Hollow.
2 players on this mid-level. Rockets flying from the outside, and Fincher trying to reclaim the #1 spot here with this raid. Currently sitting in 6th. They've got some good shots towards Get Lost up on that high ground. Taken down to about 75, 60 some HP, but we'll be able to heal up enough, and does have those beds up towards that high ground. So we'll have some spawns and some kits up here available. Those shots, though, not going to favor Get Lost. Actually did. Got the trade, but unfortunately the explosions take him down to 7 HP and in that down but not out state.
Yeah, Boss Pops barely doesn't make it up. It looks like he's being sprayed by Amy. F3 Shed is here for the raid. He's going to toss the C4 at that bed. Hollow's waiting for him at the top, and it's just barely able to get the kill. I think he got him by fall damage.
Forgot about gravity.
Pops
but put him in bed.
Oh, it's gonna fall out. It's just hollow now at the top. I believe we just heard another member of Fincher go down. I think I'm right. We can't see members of Zazie. He's on top of the gate. Oh, Hollow's gonna get headshot into the ground by Zazie. Gets lost. Zazie, you're doing a great job of defending this raid so far.
Great job so far. Still not done yet, though. There are some bodies out towards the outside. They're going to loot up for all of the resources. Bots Pops, we've talked about how their performance has been really good before. Looks like they are the only member inside of the raid right now. Possibly some other Flossy members out towards the outside, but you can see there's a lot of other teams that want to try and aggress onto this. They see the noise. They want to go take part in it and round. A team that is currently sitting in 4th, but only 4 points behind, might actually be looking for a counter raid on a different team.
Yep, we can't see them now. Travel helicopter. It does look like they're headed towards a different base, and you're gonna have to move a little closer to that original place. It is round now. Moving up. Oh, I think they've actually just hit a little bit of a U-turn. They're gonna get up behind Fincher and take their raid platform.
Take those beds, take all that loot, and then see if they can aggress from that side. Only Bots Pops is here, but sees him with a little bit of that peek on over. Should be a 3v1, but we've seen Bots Pops do crazier before. Unfortunately, it taken down immediately. Great job as a team there, but unfortunately,
from afar,
from behind, Fincher says you can take our raid platform, but you're going to pay for it.
Quick little... They are trying to take back the raid platform. I believe Round has now placed down their beds and taken over the boxes. That is now their raid platform. Now, Fincher is going to continue to shoot at them, and then one member is going to go down. I believe that was Fincher Russian characters. Fincher, Bot Pops, and Hollow. Bot Pops obviously at the base, but Hollow with the great flank. 85 health now. Does look like he's rotating around the raid platform, possibly trying to get there and steal it just as they did to them.
And steal it back. You steal it. We can steal it too. We'll see if they can get back to it. The nice thing is they have their base right there that we saw the helicopter in. We saw that team had to walk a long ways to get towards their spot. Fincher, they have their base right there, can try and help on. I think the winner of this, though, is Zazie. That during this entire time those two teams fight, Zazie gets to pretty much fully clear out their base, and now they can hopefully make some repairs. I think getting that compound, if possible, back up would be really, really nice, but some long-range snipes actually have been taking them down. We talked about this northern area, very, very packed with teams. Any sort of peak, any sort of angle is not going to be safe.
Yep, Zazie, great angles right now. Great raid defense. They've had multiple teams now pushing onto them. We can't see Najo. I'm in pain. Now, we've only ever seen Najo like really just send 1 or 2 members, usually by mini or by copter, just in, right? I haven't actually seen the full team really commit to anything. It seems like they're everywhere all at once. However, Zaza, QWER. Now, Najo, you in pain now. Rocketing from behind his cover. Again, interesting choice with the soft sides. It feels like a bad decision, especially since they're much easily broken. Now they have decided to use high quality peaks in order to not lose them as easily. It's going to take a lot more rockets than normal in order to get rid of their peaks, which is a smart decision from Zazie. However, I'm not a big fan, like I said before, of those overhead peaks, because you do have to expose almost your entire body just to get your head over the slanted roof.
Gives your defender, or gives the attackers a large bit of advantage.
Oh, he's gonna get shot from behind! Amy F. Shed is going to take down Najo. However, there is a chance for I'm in Pain to get back up. We can see 2 members of Amy now. I'm English and F. Shed spawning in to take the base. Amy Wrathwalker as well has moved up and placed cover behind the rock. We can see Zazie, Don't Toxic as well. Now respawning back in the base. I'm in Pain, still hanging on. Or you in Pain, sorry. Hanging on. It's possible for him to get back up. I believe it's about a 30% chance without a medkit. So if he does have a medkit, it's guaranteed. Oh, come on. Oh, he's able to get back up, grabbing his stims.
Okay. Back up, back breathing, back healing as well. So back into the fight here for them. Important to note, about halfway through our raiding phase here, about half it left to go as well. Still lots of bases here up in this northern side. Zazie is the one that's taking, I feel like, the brunt of the damage right now. But it still seems like to me, Griff, that almost every team is still in it. Every team right now down towards Right Twix on that 9th on the leaderboard. They're within 40 points. One good raid could keep them back in first, and especially if you are PVM and AMY, teams that have had these successful raids, if you take one more, you could expand your lead on the competition.
Yeah, really, it seems like almost all the teams are playing super defensive right now, not really wanting to take a fight and jeopardize their spot on the leaderboard, because as you know, if you are raided, you do just lose. You're not mentioned on the leaderboard at all. It's either you survive or you don't if you want a place going into the final. However, Zazzy now still getting raided from multiple teams. Really, this is a hard fight to take, as they really do have to split up their entire team in order just to cover all the angles. And this is the issue with the 3v3s, is you don't have a huge force to defend your base with. Which means, really, especially in these big scenarios like this, where there's multiple teams firing on you, multiple rockets hitting your compound, it is so much harder to defend and to get bullets out and to get people onto peaks, because you're constantly taking fire from multiple different teams. You don't have the men to fight back.
Yeah. That's 100% true, and that's honestly why I like threes a little bit more. As much as I love seeing those massive, like, 6v6 team fights and, like, 18 people in the area from 3 different squads, it's nice to see the chess game of, do you have the players, do you have the positioning, do you have the ability to force good angles and force people out of your base? I think it makes for a great event here. AMY is going to be pushing on around. Zazzy getting themselves back up.
Did we just see Zazzy pull a Tom Cruise? Did he just, like, leap from the top of his base and make it to the gate? I mean, good base planning from Zazzy. Like, that's... I'm at a loss for words. Like, that's just good base planning all around, and that must have taken some rehearsal, usually in a private server, in order for them to make that base and have it like that. He's going to be moving in now, Right Twix. Chris with AK is going to go down to QWER. He's going to be able to grab the loot from that body, obviously taking down that member who's actively firing rockets into the base. Wow. Zazzy has done a great job at defending.
That they have. And it's not only that they pulled the Tom Cruise and jumped QWR down towards that position, they also were just sending people off the roof. Like, they sent somebody to jump down on the refineries and then just send it straight into the opposing players. So we'll be interested to see if they can continue to push those players out. It looks like AMY is going to be aggressed on only a couple members back. It looks like they're all coming back now, but Mujiki is in the base and is fully controlling this top floor.
They were able to mini bomb in. We can see their mini copter parked, as it does look like one member of Mujiki has gone down. It's just left up to Miko9, and he's going to be getting pushed from all angles. Very quickly running out of loot. He better hopes that he find that TC fast. However, it does look like they got far into the base, and I think we just heard, oh, Miko9 was able to get that kill. He's back in it. We can see 2 members of Mujiki now moving in as well. Oh, and he's going to get the kill to Miko9. On a hot streak, as he is going to hop in his mini. I think he's going to be flying out, possibly either reconvene with his team or get more members. We are going to see a man try and scramble to pick up an AK and fire shots, and I think he's going to be able to make it out.
I think escaping successfully, man. So many little spy missions going on. Makes it out towards a wall, gets to heal on up, and has the teammates to try and help defend. So possibly building up some beds and some extra raid bases as well. This could be a really good raid. Like you mentioned, they already had so much broken through in the top. Now, if they don't have that access back to the top, they'll have to break through in the bottom and have to find a different way. And all of the AMY members do look like they're back with 4-3 head on kind of a side angle.
Yeah, and we can see, again, a Mujiki member, oh, he's going to kill I'm English. And again, it's something that I've said over and over throughout this tournament. These over-the-head peeks are popular, but not useful, because like we said, when we saw him peek, his entire body was exposed, as I'm English is going to take that kill. But it's just bad. Amy, F Shed now, moving in.
I think it's a full clear, though.
It does, yeah, it does look like they've taken their base back. Oh, Miko9! I don't think he's died yet. I think that's him still. I think he escaped with the mini. We are to see F Shed now moving up. He's been waiting for the perfect opportunity, walling off one side, waiting for him to push around. Miko9 is going to get sprayed at by multiple members. He's getting sprayed at from afar as well from his teammate. His teammate, oh, across the lake.
Nice side
Going to
angle.
take down F Shed.
I don't think that their teammate escaped that. It did look like Miko9
No.
able to get themselves back up, but yeah, these top angles, although, like you said, do have to expose the whole body, you do get a lot of line of sight with it. 4-3 ahead will be able to stay in that down but not out state. Miko9 just going to run around, and I think this is a doomed effort once again. So another set of raid defense points going to be given over to AMY. They're back in first place with 117, a little bit healthy, and now they can decide if they want to push on out. There is another player aggressing towards their area, but they could push towards one of these other bases and extend their lead.
Yeah, Amy holding down their base now, and I think they've fully taken that back, but it does look like there's another raid going on. It's Flossie being raided by FIN, who's already in the compound. It does look like they're controlling roof, which means they have control. However, it does look like ladder hatches have been placed, which means they have direct access into the base. I like the peaks that they have here. Not a lot of coverage, maybe putting some boxes or ramps underneath those underneath the embrasures. However, good peaks. Obviously giving yourself a lot more cover than usual. However, they are inside this base. As we can see, so many hallways have been opened up. We are going to see a member of Flossie now going up to defend his base. Possibly just looking to see if he can find some loot. And I think he's lost. As we can see him trying to navigate.
Trying to get through that low ground. I think most importantly here, this is a late counter raid from Finn. They were eventually the first team to be raided out of this trio around the hard point, but now it just seems like they're able to raid this one on back. They've got some rockets they're breaking through. They have some good drill down. However, there is a lot of area on this base once again, and with the tree line around it, we'll see if Flossie can get back on towards it. But yeah, FIN just continuing to melt away at this one and destroying that raid platform, it looks like, but Finn is still going to be popping rockets.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
He's dead.
I think that is a full defense from Flossie there.
Oh.
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 2 raids.
This is what I wanted.
Right.
This is exactly what I wanted right here. Is all 3 teams getting aggressed on as once, but this is actually a team not in the triangle. Nanjo pushing their way on in. It looks like no real explosions or blow-ups other than that opening door on the outside, which is going to allow them to get a kill, but we'll see with the doors closed on through if they can break through this bottom side.
Yeah, we're going to see, and he's just staring at us. Wonderful. Nice to see that. We've been noticed. However, Nejo now, you in pain, moving through the base. He's got a rocket launcher now. He's going to be able to open up anything that he wants. It does look like he's going to go for the boxes, which have been stored outside. I'm not a fan of boxes being stored. It doesn't look like it actually had anything in it. I think it just had some leather. However, we have seen teams in the past just kind of line up their boxes outside, which isn't good because one singular rocket and all your loot is on the floor, and it becomes 10 times harder to retrieve and 10 times easier to steal. However, you in pain now moving throughout the base, a lot of doors have either been blown off or just haven't been placed. Now, Right Twix is going to continue. We can see Purpley there in the bottom. Najo, you in pain. We can see multiple Najo members running around the outside. They are trying their best, but I think Right Twix is going to defend this. You in pain still outside, but we can't see no more. We can see one more member of Najo there on the low ground, but he's going to get a surprise kill onto that member of Right Twix. However, now Right Twix knows where he is and is going to be able to zero in onto his location.
Hopefully able to kill this player on the outside. I think it was good that he actually got the door closed. It's going to be the 1v1 fight that continues to go Najo's way. But if you didn't close that door, there were a lot of doors that were open behind it. This one is going to be a little bit of an open corridor, but open for a reason. Right Twix Citrus able to take that one down. So good little shutdown there, but all 3 teams, like we were talking about in this triangle, still red circles around them. FIN, it looks like they have cleared out their attackers. However, I mean, so many teams in the area trying to now go down south towards these triangle builds.
Absolutely. Now, it does look like we're going to be moving on. We can see Creepy just better. You see Round Canada, I believe. I think this is Round and possibly PVM raiding Creepy. Oh, an entire... Oh, it's basically see-through on this side. PVM, HIT, they've blasted throughout the entirety of the base. We can't actually see an open side on the other side. PVM hit. Round Canada as well. Now, it does look like this is... They've officially sort of taken this base. They have staked it. This is theirs. They are going to be taking this raid. It does look like... Oh, some of the bases even twig, possibly placed by them, maybe as an attempt to repair, but unfortunately killed in the process. I'm not seeing any members of Creepy try to defend or repair or anything.
I think there were some up top, but I think at the same time, you're talking about two teams that really, really want this raid. Zazzy is in the area, who is currently sitting in 10th, but you look at PVM, you look at Round, they are sitting right next to each other on the leaderboard, 3rd and 4th, 111 and 104 points respectively. We'll see the trades going on through, and PVM, they have showed their tactical skill with the guns all day long, but at this point, you really feel like it's in probably somewhere in that outer core. That inner core looks blown through, so in one of these door sets, it's going to be hiding, and one of these teams is going to get 40 points.
Yeah, and obviously, we can't see Creepy just better. Unfortunately, just go down there. His Round has now taken roof control. This is not going very well for this team, but honestly, knock, we can see there in the bottom. I thought, did we see just a, am I hallucinating, or did I just see a Round name tag just like float up the screen? Possibly just a glitched player model, maybe flying through the base after getting killed. But moving on, you're going to see knock, Creepy, 76 health.
Ooh.
And get better there in the top. Oh my god, that's a lot of AKs. Yeah,
that is some loot right there. I'm interested to see if actually the TC is down inside of that garage door, but Creepy is sneaking their way up. I don't think Prime saw him, even though Get Better dropped a couple times off of that ladder. They are hurt inside. They are losing some members, and it feels like this base in shambles. However, maybe they can get these two teams to fight each other. You talk about how they were trying to get those repairs going. I think Prime just staying up here on the roof makes it so hard to clear from top to bottom. But at the same time, there are two teams here. Round really, really want this bad to take the first place. And if they would take this, again, first, second, third is only separated by 6 points.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're going to be blowing through the doors now, continuing this raid. Now they're going to be... Oh, it's just an outside door. Okay, well, good attempt, boys. Well done. Maybe just charting a path throughout the base, making it accessible for multiple different locations, but, oh well, they are to continue to move up multiple doors on all their sides. We can't hear the fighting going on in the back. We see Round and knock, Round versus Crippy, and he's gone. However, Round is going to continue to hold that base, hold that little area, as we can't see so much boom, so many AKs, so much ammo, so much everything. Everything is on the floor there. Someone could just waltz in, pick up the loot, and leave, and it would be a huge bonus for them. There we go. Round member now deciding to pick up some of the stuff. We can't see, again, a lot of AKs, like I said before, but obviously no more than one AK is going to do you any good. You're just wasting inventory space at that point.
I really want to see the continual fighting, not only from Crippy is really good, but I want to see him blow up this garage door. I think they're defending this bottom floor with their hearts and their bodies as well. We'll have to see. It looks like pushed out of the base right now. Some of those outside doors opened up, though, when we saw those rockets. AMY on the area, but just better has gone for a really, really wide flank to try and cut them off from behind. So possibly throwing out some rockets? Maybe AMY is actually destroying other people's beds. Either way, just better has a roof peak, but I don't think has a weapon.
Anyways, Amy, I'm English now. Moving up towards the base, we can't see Creepy continuing to hold the base, but as we can see, they've tried to make repairs. We can now see some stone, some high-quality metal spruce throughout the base instead of just their regular sheet metal. Obviously, I believe they had the high qual Ambrosia peaks. However, Creepy Knock 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 as well as Get Better are on top of the base, and they are going to continue to hold it. Amy, I'm English, going to get sprayed down from Knock. It does look like he's going to be able to walk away from it. Wrathwalker now moving into the base, possibly trying to get to an old body. However, oh, knock, 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 firing shots back at I'm English. It does look like he's trying to heal, but maybe Knock taking shots from other areas as he is going to sort of engage, disengage, engage, and disengage again. Really just trying to keep recovering fire. If you get better, is going to be able to get to the raid platform.
Creepy
Oh,
is going to be
just not
eliminated.
in time.
Oh, so sad. A little bit too late.
And with
Yeah.
that raid, I believe we're going to take a short break, obviously, to give our voices a little rest. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes, and we will see you after this break.
And we are back, still here at Rustoria with our base Invaders North America 3v3 event. 30 minutes left here in the raiding phase towards the end of it. And Griff, we've already had an exciting little bit of an event and a lot of teams already falling out. Important, like you noted, you still gotta survive to the end. You cannot lose your base here in the final 30 minutes if you want to be on that leaderboard.
Absolutely, and I believe we can see, I believe this is Team Fincher's base. Najo's, sorry. Najo's being raided. Just look like Zazie was able to survive their raids. We can't see a member, you in pain there. Or not, sorry, don't toxic there in the background. Zazie, is this a member? Name tags are getting minced, and my color blindness is not helping as colors continue to merge together. Now, does look like multiple different members. You can see Najo, Noblest, Zazie, Don't Toxic is going to be able to get in there and take down Nejo. As we can see, Nejo, Scallon as well on the outside, moving in. Fincher, Hollow, as well as Bots and Bots Pops, and I believe Russian characters is out there as well. You can see almost every base, or almost every team on the top 10 moving in to try and take this base from Najo.
Yeah, this one is going to have a lot of people around it. I think importantly as well, before we went towards that break, we saw Amy able to take that TC, able to get that big 40-point boost to keep them in first. I think all these other teams around this area do need to try and catch up. You're at least a TC behind, if not more, if you're the teams in 7, 8, 9, or 10. So, oh. Well, we'll see if the players can find the TC.
Toxic is you round Canada there, Nacho, Noblest, as well as Don't Toxic. QWE are now moving up. Says QWE are moving up. Now, does look like he's looking for anyone at this point. Scallon possibly, and it does look like he's going to be moving into the base and looking for Nacho Scallon. It does look like he's going to be taking the other door and taking out, but Nacho's going to get eliminated by Round, putting Round into first place, tied with Amy at 162 points.
Round is going to be back up there. We talked about how these other teams needed it, and Round definitely did. Round is also a team that I feel like has been winning PvP duels, so we'll see if they can win some on the outside of this base invade. If they can get some of those points, if they can retake that first place. AMY also seems like they're winning PvP duels as well, but now both of them a healthy 30-some points ahead of the rest of the competition.
Definitely, we can see Zazie get lost as well. Now moving in, it does look like he's going to be clearing out maybe someone else's raid platform.
Yeah.
But it does look like the raid has been lost. It looks like that might have been a destroyed raid platform by Right Twix. Yeah. No.
Okay.
No other raids. We can't see flaw. Oh. FIN have set up a raid platform and are getting ready to go in on Flossie. See Hayden, Apsy, and Tequila there. Setting up on top of his boxes. We can see rocket launchers on the backs. Hayden now, I believe, pushing up the C4 to get through the compound. Taking the option to, instead of firing rockets and making sort of a hole into the side of the base and then laddering in, it does look like they're just going to be laddering up, going in through the front door instead of drawing a lot of attention. Flossie, however, in the base has heard them, but Finn Tequila has going to be taking the top of the base. However, Flossie, I believe that's Flop, is going to take down Tequila without him noticing. And Finn is now inside the base. They are going to be going inside of Apsy. Moving up from the roof is going to miss the window and go down and take half his health.
Half that HP lost. We'll see if Finn can get those respawns in and get those kits back up as quick as they can. I think also at this point, it's important to note that you only have 25 minutes. That's if you're very, very good, if you're very lucky, 2 good raids. And there's no easy raid target at this point. You scouted out in that first attack phase. You saw some of the easier bases to take. Those are all gone. Speaking of gone, one of the players of Flossie loses that trade through the window. Apsy going to start this raid from the top, and this is very important. Again, Finn, they were there at the top at one point from those early hardpoint points. They are about 30 behind, so they really need this raid to be successful.
Yep, can see now C4 getting thrown onto doors. Now, while they are going to be opting to go through soft side of walls, which we've seen a lot of so far, is it actually came from Flossie that decided to go through soft sides, and that we did see that earlier and watched them waste all of their boom. FIN now deciding to follow in maybe some of their footsteps and go through soft side is going to open them up to the core. However, we can see a lot of rockets and C4 down at the bottom. FIN Tequila, I think, has spotted those and wants them. Now, he does need to drop down, then obviously ladder back up if he wants to continue. However, FIN Tequila is now out of base. What?
Yeah, leave it.
What's going on? Team Zazi's getting raided. Team FIN! Right twist with the counter!
This is smart.
And
This is what we were talking about. The triangle formation sometimes will bite you here if you're spending too much time on somebody else's base. The counter raid is in for Right Twix, down about 50 points on the leaderboard. They need a TC as well, so they say our opponents are busy. Let's break through this core.
The issue with FIN right now is they're deciding to run back. They're not willing to leave the loot that they found behind, which is going to cost them a lot of time. In my opinion, they should have F1 killed themselves and respawn back inside the base, being able to pick up loot and sort of react quickly. However, we are going to hear AK fire going off in the back, so I don't hate F for FIN, but they need to get damage control on this now, or else they lose this base before they have a chance to defend it. Speaking of defending, FIN Tequila is going to be trying to make a move, but I believe he's going to go down. Right takes Parpla. Now on the roof. I think he's under that floor. I think he's waiting. He is going to be using the I believe that is the Chinese New Year Dragon Launcher as FIN Tequila. No, not FIN, sorry. Not Tequila. Oh, it is Tequila. I was right. Tequila is going to be spraying down, but he's going to go down to fall damage. That is the position that a downed body will take during fall damage. They will go down. They are not able to move around while in that state. They will lie flat on their back and have a chance of getting back up. I believe it is a 30% if he doesn't have a medkit in his hotbar, and it doesn't like he's gonna win those odds, as he is gonna die. Right to Parpla. Now inside the base. Now it does look like they're looking for any doorway leading to TC. Now getting a TC right now for Right Twix would put them into third place at about 153 points, with Round and Amy ahead of them. Doors now getting blown off. I thought I saw a TC there. I was wrong. It does look like Parplay is going to move through. Oh my god, and I don't think Parplay is with us anymore. Apsy has taken him down.
Nice little preparation play, waiting around these bed areas with unclosed garage doors, it looks like, as well. At the same time, though, you mentioned it, Right Twix is not giving up on this raid. I think it'd be huge for them. Unfortunate drops on in there a little bit. No weaponry, but if they could take this base, if they could get back to it, hypothetically, if they can take down Finn, they can get those points, they can take down a top 3 team, and then as well, you saw the work that Finn had already put towards the other base, right? Twix Purpla is going to get back towards that low ground, possibly in that down state. Actually is up, so it's going to be healthy enough. They've got 2 teammates here, and if you can start to snowball this raid into the other raid, you could realistically walk away with first place here today.
Oh, Finn has locked Right Twix inside the base now. We did see them close up that roof. Apsy unfortunately gonna go down. Oh, Chris with AK from outside is going to be taking him down, but we can't see Rose Sign armor, and AK is scattered across the ground. But Right Twix currently has no way out. Their only way of entry has now just been blocked off. But it doesn't look like he's got any C4 on his legs or a launcher, which means he's trapped in there for Finn to deal with. His members are now team members now trying to frantically get him out. We can't see Flossie, Big Poppy T. Now move the base, going over to Fincher. It does look like they're getting raided by multiple teams, but those teams are now fighting each other. We saw PVM hit, and it does look like they've taken over this raid platform. If it's not theirs already, we can't see a Majuki member on the left. However, this base is now wide open.
Yeah, there's a ton of holes down throughout the bottom, down throughout the middle of this one. Canada is going to be on a side angle trying to push through as well. This is another very important base take with another lot of these top teams just trying to get the points at the end of this game. And that's what it always seems to come down to. Not only are we talking about the 40 big points for the TC, Fincher isn't a team that's up high enough where if they get the defense points, it will matter. But once those targets start to fall all across the map, you can imagine that some of these other teams in the triangle or AMY around, it's going to come down to a couple points. Right now, they're only separated by 2 points between first and second.
Yeah. Obviously, we can see PVM now spraying back at Fincher. They are going to be playing from the high ground. We can see Hollow and Russian characters on the second floor, whereas Bots Pops is now inside the compound. Looks like he's rotating around to the gate. He could be looking for a way to go flank and possibly get some kills on PVM, getting rid of that raid platform. PVM Dragon now peeking out for some shots. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to get a kill. However, he's going to be able to pull off. You can see Oil dominating there. PVM is currently in 4th place with 128 points. This TC would put them into 1st for a tie unless they get a couple PvP points there on the way.
They can get a couple of those points. So important, especially like we talk about running out of time, picking your targets, using the rest of the boom you have, making sure that you don't get counter-raided here. That's the most important thing. I feel like for AMY and Round, you're trying to find that perfect balance of not only are you the top team, and yes, you need to go out and get points, but you also need to not lose your own base. We've talked about it today that if you get your TC taken here in the final 15 minutes, it doesn't matter. You're just a statistic and you're not on the leaderboard.
Absolutely. And one thing that I've noticed so far throughout this is compared to the last couple base invaders that I've casted, these point scores are relatively low. A lot of the teams are opting to play a lot more sneakily, a lot more sort of controlled and defensive. Now, part of that reason is because we're in 3s, but the last time we did it, and I believe it was a 5v5, we saw teams up into the 300 and 400 point range. So this is a major sort of fault of points. However, Fincher is going to be able to take out the raid platform. Amy with 168 points, still maintaining the lead, going strong. However, around 1 point behind them. I guess they're just saying hi. There's Oil dominating, and Russian character is going to take him down. I think he was waiting for him to grab a gun, because as you know, PvP points do not count unless the player has a gun on them. C4 going to take out the beds. C4 is going to go off, only taking down 1 box. Obviously, C4 is not great for splash damage. Really, it's good for taking down one singular target. That's where the launcher comes in. Great for hitting multiple things at once.
They were trying to take this out from the bottom.
This was a Foundy raid. Yeah.
Wasn't successful, luckily. I mean, maybe they can get it back and get it repaired, but they are probably the biggest open target right now on the map. But at the same time, like we mentioned, it's not only the fact that the scores are low today, but there's been a ton of counter raids that it feels like whenever somebody's raiding somebody else, their base is getting raided, they have to abruptly just end their raid where it seems like they're getting successful. And that's what does kind of sting about having only 3 people, just having the chess match of making sure you get out, get back to your base, and make sure it doesn't get taken. And that's why it's going to be exciting coming down to these final 15 minutes. FIN has been racking up some crazy kill numbers here. They're now within 8 points of that top sitting.
Definitely. We can see Round now at SH3O Prime. Shiho Prime, I'm assuming, is how you pronounce that, but Prime now, I think Fincher has really taken control over this base. This is the base. Round, I think, is going to be pulling off. However, we are going to see a couple members over here. Wood Walls, we aren't able to see the team member. We are now outside of our radar. But he's going to be moving up. These are his teammates, I believe. And this is the raid platform, which means they have a good view onto Fincher. Fincher, obviously, in 8th place, with 107 points. Which means they need at least 2 TCs in order to catch up.
Yeah, and Maybe they can get some defense points depending on how long these raids continue to fall, but realistically, you're gonna need a large chunk of PvP points along with taking some other TCs. What a shot there from the high ground prime, taken down to that down, but not out of state. But a lot of teams are kind of hovering around that area that it feels like they have time. Like 13 minutes isn't a lot, but it's enough to get a successful raid if you're smart about it. If you can take it from top to bottom, if you can pick the correct areas to use your boom on. But it seems to me, at least, Griff, that a lot of these teams just use their boom way too early and don't have any left.
Yeah, it like we saw with Flossie, it does look like a lot of teams opted to just, go all in, guns ablazing, throw in all of their C4, all of their rockets at once. And now that we're headed into the end game, we are seeing a scarcity. However, Flossie flop. It looks like who else is in this base? Is it just Flossie and FIN Apsy? And I believe this is the Flossie base. Apsy is going to be taking out, running around, throwing boom on everything. I think this is a solo push from just him because he's right Twix as well off in the background, and Tequila looks like he's down with 4 health. Again, like I said, 30% chance to get back up, but I think he had a teammate to get him up. We saw Hayden just spawn in directly on top of him.
And this just keeps being fun, man. The triangle around this hard point, right Twix tries to raid Finn. Finn has to abandon this raid earlier. Now Finn is back, and right Twix is actually joining, which I'm a little bit surprised that none of these 3 teams ever decided we're going to go for a 2v1. Now it finally seems like Flossie may be the target of both of these squads. However, not a lot is destroyed. There's still a lot of really good reinforcement all throughout. Maybe they can break these doors. There are a lot of explosions going down throughout this triangle. So if they can get some good access, if they can get lucky, this could be a huge raid for one of these 2 teams.
Definitely, and we can hear the rocket launcher now breaking out, obviously doing a splash area damage, which at times can be cheaper than using C4.
Yeah.
Multiple doors coming out, branching into what we see the hallways, which are sometimes combined with that sort of advent calendar wall of having so many doors on one side of the wall, make multiple different pockets. However, FA and Tequila, we can see off that distance trying to help out his team, but we can see Hayden has now made his way into the base, possibly taking down people that are looking to counter Apsy, as it does look like he's going to be going through a soft side. Or not a soft side, sorry. He's just going to be drilling through the walls. Oh, did we just hear I think a Flossie member just attacked Absy with a jackhammer, and Chris with AK unfortunately gonna go down. I was right.
Beautiful stuff. Using every single bit of weaponry they can. Is going to be continuation from Finn from this high ground, trying to pressure a little bit onto right Twix. Don't want to give them any access towards this base, and more importantly, we've been talking about Finn all game long. We talked about their hard point take early on, their ability to PvP, but not only that, their consistent ability to earn some points. The long range shots once again towards these roof peaks. Right Twix wants a piece of this, and Finn, this could put you really far ahead if you get this DC. Where right Twix, they wouldn't even be in first if they took this.
Yeah, Finn obviously grabbing that additional 40 points would put them into first place. Now, we have seen them climb the leaderboard, but as well, Amy was in first place for most of the game, but Round has just barely taken them by 6 points. We are going to see some spawn platforms here. Apsy, obviously, with the launcher, needs to take those out in order to prevent the rest of Flossie spawning in on top of them. But with this entire interaction, I have to wonder, where is Flossie?
I don't know. I don't know if their beds got destroyed or what. They were a little bit of players on the low ground. We saw them contesting some towards this kind of shooting floor towards high ground area, but it looks like they have kind of disappeared. I mean, they're sitting in 7th. There's a respawn, it looks like, right in that core, and Apsy might be able to just take down this 50 health player, continuing to break through these beds, continuing to break through this core, thinking it's in the core instead of in that advent calendar outside. It's a 50-50 gamble. We'll see if it pays off.
Yeah, we are going to see him drill through the floor, and Apsy is going to go on to a 10 kill streak with that kill on flop. Thing down here, not even a box in order to reward him, just a lot more double doors. If I was him, I think he should place the C4 on each of those, then use a rocket to splash them all out. Give himself a lot of avenues to go through and see if we can find that TC.
No teammates there yet. Apsy's still trying to not only deal off that 10 kill streak, but deal with this right tick squad that is continually pushing and pushing and pushing. I think for Finn as well, they need to be a little bit careful. Round is earning themselves some elimination points. It looks like they're working their way still up towards that first place spot. And like you said, just use the C4, try and break through all of these doors and give yourself a large opening here in the core, because it could actually be down towards the bottom, and breaking down towards some more double doors could be down here. Maybe we'll see if the Rockets get lucky.
Apsy going to continue the raid. Now we're going to see another double door open up into more of those little 1x1s that have been made throughout the base. Going through this again, that is I believe that is a high qual floor, which means that he's going to take 8 C4 in order to blow through. 8 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Round in first place, FIN in second with 174, close to taking that first place spot. Apsy decided to go with a different approach. We see Flossy flop. He's got the jackhammer once more. He's looking for looking for an opportunity to get around, possibly play super sneaky. But Apsy's just gonna barely take that, and the jackhammer is laid to rest once more.
Apsy's not having any of that shenanigans. And by the way, I don't know where Apsy's teammates are either. We were talking to where is Flossie, but where are Apsy's teammates? I mean, there's going to be a nice little thing to take down Raki down to 84 HP. At the same time, Right Twix is here. They brought some reinforcements for FIN. I don't know if maybe they were trying to defend their own base or something else, but they need to help out Apsy. Apsy feels very, very close, and this is the game in your hands with 7 minutes and some change left.
Now, it is possible that the reason why there isn't any Flossy members coming to assist is there's no loot for the Flossy members to get. That's why we're seeing Flop run around with the jackhammer. The members could be out trying to get AKs and ammo. Now, Right Twix is here. It does look like they've brought their entire team to try and take this raid.
Right Twix trying to get it done.
Now, Apsy knows they're here now, which means he either needs to raid faster or he needs to react, and it looks like he's going to try and react, trying to get a beat down onto Right Twix. Chris with AK, they now know he's there. He's going to go down to 70 health. He's going to be able to take an AK shot off. C4 going to get thrown down on that crossbar, trying to deny anybody access to that hallway, giving him a second to sort of re-challenge, heal up. Off for a little while. Right Twix, Rickabella as well. They are just going to continue to rock it. He could be looking for a different way to flank, maybe using a little bit more boom, but Right Twix is going to go through this hallway. This would be a steal. Apsy has done this completely solo.
Yeah, Apsy has been working their way methodically through this base for Right Twix. This is how you probably win the event, is you get yourself with this base, you try and work yourself through.
And I think we just saw Apsy going down, unfortunately, to Rickabella. He was able to rush the roof and get to Apsy, and I think that Right Twix is going to be able to take this base. Right Twix, this will propel them into... Oh, Fincher eliminated by Round!
That's actually huge. I mean, Round, that pushes them even further into first place, along with every single point they were getting. They did target this pieced apart base that we were mentioning was going to be a pretty easy target, and now the timer is on for everybody else. For PVM, you're probably too far down. We're probably only looking at Round, who just took a really good base, and Finn, who had that consistent early points. They need to get back here, and Finn is actually getting raided on their own base, so maybe had to send some players back, some Flossy players, so maybe it was a 2v2 over here while Apsy tried to deal with that base themselves. However, I feel like, Finn, you just have to abandon your own base right now. I wouldn't even care about getting second at this point. I would just run over to that other base, try your best, and try and get all 3 players to break it open.
Absolutely. The only way that anybody else is going to be able to get the win is if somebody is able to flash raid Round, get that TC as fast as possible. Now, I don't think it's going to happen. And remember, if somebody else is able to get a TC in the meantime, any raid defense points that will happen will boost Round farther up the leaderboard if you're not able to complete the raid.
Speaking of those raid defense points, Finn just got some raid defense points. They were about 50 separated from Round, and now all of a sudden, it's within range. Oh, coming down to these final 5 minutes, and Finn has a chance. If they can get back to this base, if they can get back on the high ground, if they could take Right Twix out of this base, they could do it, and they're going to go through the window.
Finn Tequila gone. So close, such an opportunity there. Two members of Right Twigs on the roof. I don't think they were great for health, but unfortunately, I think he got stuck on the ladder. I didn't see him aim down sights with his gun, which is unfortunate. It's something that does happen quite frequently in Rust. Obviously, I think there's a little more than 8 teams remaining on the leaderboard. However, I could be wrong. They could just be lower down on the leaderboard with not as many points. And I've been wrong before. So 8 teams remaining. We are going to see Round in first, Finn in second, Amy in third, PVM in fourth, Mujiki in fifth, Right Twix in sixth, Zazzy in seventh, and Flossie in eighth. But it does look like that base is unfortunately going to get raided over here on Team Zazzy's base, getting raided by Mujiki and Amy and PVM as well.
This one is slightly interesting here. Amy could have a chance to maybe overtake that leaderboard, but they would need this raid to go quickly. I mean, you're only talking about 3.5 minutes, along with the factor that is another team here. There is another team going to be trying to contest you as well. I think Finn, they have to go back. We saw some of those respawns. We saw them trying to reaggress in towards out of their base. Zazzy, I think they had a pretty good day already, but I don't think it really matters if they defend at this point. I think those points won't give them enough to jump up to first on the leaderboard.
Probably not. Amy Wrathwalker there in the bottom as well. Honestly, I think Round almost has this, unless either Finn is able to swoop in and grab a TC or Round is raided. Round almost has this at this point.
Seems so. Nice consistent game for them, and again for a squad that I feel like started a little bit behind, started behind the points of Finn and started behind the points of those teams that had built themselves around that hard point. They did a really good job of picking good targets, slowly eliminating the easy ones, and not getting caught up on taking down other teams that were trying to fight them for it, just getting their raids consistently. Now with 2.5 minutes, it is just them and Finn are the only 2 horses left in the race.
Definitely, and we did see Finn. I believe they were the ones controlling the hardpoint during attack phase, which does show that I believe they went into raid with just over 40 points, which does show if they weren't that controlling, they would be in third right now, and Amy would be in second if everything had played out like it did, which means that those early points are the only thing that have kept them in this race so far.
And I think back as well towards the point where they had to abandon some of their raids, where at points Flossie was raiding their base, where Right Twix was raiding their base. They had to escape off of that Flossie raid. I think they're still in the Flossie raid in progress, but we'll have to see if they can get it. That is their only chance at the point. Amy is going to still be going for some kills here at the end of it. And credit to Amy. I feel like a squad that hasn't taken as many TCs as other teams, but I feel like when we see the stats here at the end of the game, they're going to have a ton of kills.
Yeah, definitely no. As well, it doesn't look like Zazzy. I think Zazzy's actually going to be able to pull through. We are going to see Finn Absy go on another 5 kill streak. I mean, I feel like it's been Absy and Oil Domination, or Dominating, sorry, that have been, well, dominating this this tournament so far. Those 2 members have been going off and off and off more and more throughout as the tournament continues to go on, and I feel like those 2 are like the most aggressive players so far in the tournament. But it's Flossie. FIN Absy is back, and he wants this raid 45 seconds.
It is Apsy versus the world. You have one chance here, Apsy. You have 30 seconds.
TC, come on.
Oh, he's only got
Apsy,
20 HP. Big Poppy T able to take him down. And that should be the end of it, realistically. A nice little shooting angle. I mean, credit towards Apsy. You were talking about it all day long, just pestering these raids, getting these kill streaks, but the 2 teammates hurt on the outer bounds. So with 15 seconds left, Round should be able to hold their position. Flossie going for one final sneak attack here, but no real time left. Finn, a really good fight here at the end of it, but it is going to be Round walking away as our victor here for North America.
As we wait, there we go. Obviously, round 1, Canada with 52 points, 30. I'm assuming Shiho Prime 31 points, and Russian characters with 29 points. They were able to get 3 raids and 0 defenses. They were never attacked.
Yeah, they that also means they never got the benefit of those defense points. They were all on offense. I think, like we said, really, really consistent, not only on their raids to get three of them down, but also you look at that KD, almost a 2 point KD. They did really, really good on finding those picks early on and just finding their way in. Canada had a really, really, really good game for themselves.
Absolutely, yeah. Obviously, as a Canadian myself, I'm happy that somebody named Canada tore it up the competition so far. And when you said Canada, let me tell you, it did hurt my feelings a little bit. Hapsy with zero raids, or not Hapsy, sorry, FIN, zero raids completed, but five defenses and 120 kills.
They were involved on some raids, but man, Apsy was just going on a tear, was just ripping through bases, was finding kill streaks here, there, and everywhere. And, at the same time, they were able to get back and defend their own base. I feel like if they didn't have those five defenses, if they had maybe four of them, if they had one TC take, I mean, you can see the points. They got some defense points right there at the end, that they were 20 some points away. So I wouldn't be disappointed if I were them.
No, definitely not. And I believe moving on to our next team, Amy. Two raids completed, one raid defense, and only 48 kills. Wow, 54 deaths combined. As our observer just said, Finn Apsey got more kills than their entire team combined.
That he did.
I think Amy was really just the raid stealer. They were able to get in there and steal raids. And I don't know how they were able to do a raid defense with only 48 kills. I mean, like, this is an achievement on its own. Bravo.
Credit to them. I mean, walking away with a bronze medal. I think as well, we were talking about raid steals, which is always something nice, but I feel like they were really good on just their decision making. That yes, they were dying here, there. They weren't taking the greatest of team fights, but at the same time, they were pressuring and recognizing how the builds were built up, taking down those TCs, and they were close. That I feel like if they had one of those at the end of the game, we could be talking about a different story. But even to survive, Griff, we were talking about we started with a bunch of teams, only reduced to 8. So even to be alive here in the leaderboard at the end is somewhat of an accomplishment.
Definitely. Moving on to PVM. Oil dominating, actually. Only 23 kills. That's surprising to me. 77 total kills and 80 deaths. I saw him, I think he was maybe more of a technical player rather than obviously him versus the world. Is maybe that's what we saw, but we didn't see very much of them towards the end. I feel like about halfway through, it's almost like they gave up, at least from my perspective. But one raid completed, two defenses, good for them. Obviously securing that fourth place spot. I feel like if they were able to maybe get another raid off, things might have changed a little different. But like, even then, they were still almost 100 points off first place.
Yeah, we did also see Flossie fall into some of those pitfalls early, where they used all of their boom. They did
All the
get one
boom, yeah.
successful raid completed, but it just wasn't enough to keep themselves on the leaderboard. Mujiki in 6th, Right Twix in 7th, and Zazzy in 8th for today's North America event. But I gotta say, a really fun one. I mean, threes is always fun. It's a nice chess match like we were talking about, and gotta say, congrats to Round for just a really, really consistent game, not only with those kills, but with those constant raids.
Yep, definitely. GG's to all, and I believe that is going to take us to the end of our broadcast. Llama, did you have anything else you'd like to add before we close out?
I just got to give out some thanks. I know it's been a minute since I've been here, so thanks to the entirety of the Rustoria staff. Of course, Ian on the sticks of the production, making everything look beautiful for you guys out there, and all the players that did play today gave us an amazing event, and everybody out in Twitch chat that was watching.
And with that, I believe that is going to take us to the end of our broadcast. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you to Rustoria and our sponsor of Rusty Pot. And we will see you again next month for our next group of base invaders.